Okay, let's move on. Back, forth. I'm thinking to move into the events preceding the revolution and turn the page. I've asked before the big crowd of onlookers to comment, to suggest ways in which the plot can be changed. We should move back, we should insist on that, and questions what did that character did. Anyway, make it interactive. So I'm thinking about Terminum, the final countdown, Europe again, rock band. In my days, I don't know about yours. I mean, if in your days you've heard it, you remember it, anything about it. Yeah, I had an assignment just before the end of communism. We had no idea, but it was something they gave me because I mentioned this before, I was available when others couldn't do it. I've arranged in such a way my studies, my final exams, so to say, so that I would be available. Interest in geophysics was diminishing. It was almost non-existent. In fact, I would not work a day in my life as a geophysicist, geologist. Even after I graduated, I would say that's not going to work for me. I have other options and plans. Well, plans, I'm not sure if plans is the right word. I didn't have something definite, but I saw that what was happening and what the near future offered was in any shape and form, financial especially, much more enticing, promising than being a geophysicist in Drobeta Turnul Severin, where I would eventually get a job. They gave me a position there, but I didn't honor the. No, it's not a transfer. The assignment, the papers. So, fortunately, by that time, communism will have ended. So I could decline the invitation. Were it still communism, I would have to go. Hell or high water. I mean, no matter what, I would have to. If not, they would send for me and find the ways to convince me, or jail me, or something. Not shoot me, then I don't think so for that. So, the tourist office sent me to Poana Brașov with a delegate a few days before the group would arrive, because what happened was this: they had a new client, let's say, some tour operators, some schools, it doesn't matter, had probably signed a sort of a deal arrangement with the ONET, the tourist office here, saying that winter, maybe depending on how it works, following seasons, they would send groups of children to Poana Brașov. From their side, they had a young man, the English, Scottish, something, British anyway, citizen, who came with me so that we can inspect the facilities, see if the hotel is clean, if the food will be all right, if they have access to this and that, if the teachers are fine, they know English, things like that. He has also to know his way around because he will be asked questions. I supposedly knew because I had been there before. If you're a fan, which is very unlikely because there is no you, so you can't be a fan when you're not. you at all. How does that work? But I was going to say, if you've heard this thing before, you might know, unlikely, but that I was ejected from Pana Brashov with a call in the middle of the night. That was one of the most terrible moments. And then the following days, some of the worst days in my life, because I was thinking maybe they will shoot me, maybe with such a manner of ejecting in the middle of the night, as I said, pack up and don't ask me anything. It was clearly something very wrong, not financially, because they would say you made a huge mistake. You signed a check for, and anyway, they would find a way to regulate this. It was a state. Everything was 95% of state owned. 5% maybe there was some small cooperatives or something. Like that guy I met again in another episode across the street from Dan Stamate in the group with Marius Jäger, Adi Toda. Anyway, all history. You find it in the previous episodes, about 67 episodes ago, maybe. So, I had my time in. I had my time in Pana Brashov. Not the best of times, as in terms of the departure I mentioned, which I still don't know why it turned out so ugly. Terrible, really. So, because physically nothing happened, they didn't torture me, but mentally it did. That, I mean, I was. I knew. I said the wrong things, so I knew they had something eventually. If they would want to put me on trial or arrest me, they would say, you said this to this Englishman, you said you don't love the party, you don't respect the most beloved son. Anyway, let's return. So we went there to Pana Brashov with this young man, looked around. I'm not sure, maybe there were 2 days or so, enough, considered enough. I mean, they wouldn't send you there for a month to just see all the pathways and all the ski lifts and something. It's anyway a small place, otherwise. And then we would have to welcome the real people, the real clients. So from Pana Brashov we would return on, now there's a question here. I think it's either the 16th or the 17th. It could be checked if need be, because it's the day, in fact, it will happen to be the moment when Ceausescu closes the borders. So without our knowledge, the revolution started in Timișoara, close to the border with Hungary and Serbia. And without our knowledge, because were I in Bucharest, where we would listen to Radio Free Europe, Voice of America sometimes, and then you had the rumors, the news filtering on. True, you didn't know what was really happening quite often, like in that joke. I mentioned this before, I guess. But then, as I said, I have one viewer on many of these. So, well, on the blog is a stranger thing. It tend to be 10, 12, unless it's the Mulan. I made a boycotting Mulan short film, and that has beaten the record. It has all the viewership of 1,000 movies in one, because it has 1,500 views so far. Views. I don't know. They clicked on it. Maybe they looked for 3 seconds and then, or maybe more. I don't think 3 seconds is enough. Whatever YouTube considers enough, 7 seconds to put it as a view, if partial or something. So the few people that watch one or the other are different. So Once in a while I realize that I can't refer to something I've said as if you know it, or as if you're there. So, but the idea that you might be, that's something I say to myself again once in a while. It's soothing. I mean, I can't talk to the person inside there, because I get kicked in the teeth if I do that. But then I can talk to you. At least have this feeble hope. So I went from the subject again, so much so that I don't even remember what I was saying. Well, it was with this airport thing, arriving there. It was with the revolution, yes, and in Bucharest you would get the gossip, and then I reached the joke. A question for Radio Erevan. Is it true that Mr. Ionescu, my name, or Popescu, very common, both, most common I guess, has been given a white Dacia, the car? No, it's not a car, a Dacia, it's a bicycle. It's not white, it's black. It was not given to him, it was taken away from him. So that's the way it worked. That's the idea of what you hear, what the news tell you, and much like the world of Trump, the cult of the very stable genius, because America is behind my country now. We have a leader that is 10,000 times better than what they have. So, and furthermore, The Economist of the other day, vrei să te aud, băi, papagalule? De fapt, poți să faci că fac ăștia la gălăgie de nebunești. Has on the cover America's ugly election. I mean, the main article. The idea is that if it's a close call, I mean, if it's a small difference between the two, Trump and his supporters will cause trouble. They don't go as far as to say The Economist is a serious source, the best there is in my opinion. In fact, I'm celebrating 37 years since I've been reading it. For the past 30 or so we had a subscription through the company. So yes, they don't speculate, but I'm thinking that there probably will be a war on the streets. About the size of it, they're not all so fanatic, members of the cult of the very stable genius. They're all stupid, deplorables. Hillary Clinton was spot on. Besides, from what I think I know, she didn't say that addressing America. She said it in a small circle. Now that they took it out, it's not her fault. And it's such a shame, such a disgusting truth about America, or Erica. It's in Lake Wobegon days. It's a joke they should have called us from King Eric of Norway, who had more to do with America than America Vespucci. And then I realized there's the hair, the other prince, coming from this motherfucking king, Eric. So they should call the United States of America from what their future looks like, if they go down that path. Okay, so to end with, we'll see what happened at the airport, and then after that, in the days to come, inshallah.